Hey everybody, so I'm Mary Beer Girl and I have a new video for you guys for Wednesday. And this video is something that I actually read an article about it on, well, probably weeks ago, but I haven't been able to put out a video for it due to me putting out videos on other stuff. But this one was actually on Studio, I'm probably gonna say it wrong, Gilby's, probably saying it wrong, I apologize, who has came out, who as co-founder is Hayao Miyazaki, and pretty much how they actually don't have any female directors. And one person, the reason why they said there aren't any is because they feel that it depends on the movie that's being directed, and that women, are more realistic, while men are considered more idealistic. And that is a lot better when it comes to a fantasy film. And I don't agree with this. I feel like, as many of us who are female anime fans, I feel like all of us could be directors in any kind of way, and maybe a realistic approach. If many of us are realistic, it's sometimes an approach you might have to take to a fantasy film. This isn't saying that all of them has to be realistic, but I mean, I just really hate that there's this misconception that girls or females or women cannot do the same jobs or as well as men can, just because in some ways we are wired differently, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, even if you talk to one guy and talk to another guy, or talk to one girl and talk to another girl, they're both going to be wired differently, and they're of the same exact sex. It's really just based off of their experiences, how they see the world. It's the same way how you can talk to two women, and one woman could be optimistic about a situation, and one woman could be pessimistic about a situation. The whole thing of seeing a glass half full and a glass half empty, that kind of thing. But I don't really like. I know a lot of people are like, oh well, a lot of times it's Japanese culture. A lot of times there are a lot of gender roles or gender stereotypes that are there that are very prevalent, that they still have not yet gotten over compared to other societies. But I started reading a little bit more, and on the article I read, it's not just Japan, it's also the US. Many studios like Disney and Pixar very rarely have any female directors. Most of the directors are male. They've only had um, one actual female director, and then I believe in Shrek was another movie that they made. They were co-directors, and that Pixar would have had a female director for Brave, but they fired her halfway through the project. It was her own project, and fired her halfway through. And I don't know why many people believe that women cannot approach fantasy or animation or anything like that with the same sense that guys can. One of my best friends, one of my friends from college, um, she actually is a wonderful artist, and she is so big into fantasy. And it's just really amazing to see her grow. And I don't believe any guy is any better or any worse than her. I just feel like she's her own individual person. But I feel like, hey, if she's hired by some company to do something like this, then why shouldn't she? And I don't think she's any more, like I said, any more better or worse than a guy. But give her a chance, or just give females in general a chance. I mean, it's the same way of how you can look at like YouTube, or just basically anything in general, that not a lot of girls do it, or they feel like they have to be clumped into this one small category. That's not true, such as beauty or makeup or fashion. And while many of us are like, it's not the only thing that I'm interested in, like, I will raise my hand, I'm very interested in that stuff. I like a lot of it, but I'm also very nerdy and into video games and manga and comic books and things like that, and interested in doing things like YouTube videos and blogging, stuff like that. That's not normal for girls, but I just think it's utterly amazing, and it's fun, and it's creative, and it's something that helps me go through my day-to-day life. But basically, I guess ultimately what I want to think of, or when I extend the question, I guess, to you guys is, do you think these things will ever change? Like, and I'm looking at studios like Disney, like I said, Pixar, besides Studio Ghibli. I'm apologizing if I'm saying this name wrong. But I'm looking at those studios because they can ultimately change a lot of society. And it's not just these industries that seem to have a lot of issues with women taking some sort of a control. I'm looking at the tech industry as well. I currently work in tech, and a lot of times, as being a female who works there, you're not looked at as being as smart as someone who is male, which is terrible because we're both wearing the same things, and just because I don't have, you know, a particular part, doesn't mean I'm any less smart or that I don't know what I'm talking about. But regardless, also, do you guys agree or disagree that females or women are more realistic compared to being more idealistic when it comes to fantasy, and that guys are more idealistic instead of realistic? Um, but I feel like honestly, a realism is kind of okay to have in a fantasy film. To me, that's what makes it amazing. But I feel like if you look at a majority of um, as far as when it comes to fans and what fans, this is just my opinions, once again, don't have to, be all crazy. But I feel like when it comes to fans, a lot more female fans are a lot more into fantasy, like things like fan fiction and stuff like that, than guys are. And I feel like they need to take that into account and look at the demographics of which ones are doing something a little bit, creative with their projects. That's just me, and that's just my ultimately my opinion. But I feel like people need to hop on this train and getting females a chance to be directors and things like that, because that will also give hope to other young girls who want to go that route and be able to do the things that they want to do and not feel like they're going to be challenged or pressured or pushed back due to the fact that they were not born a certain sex, which is something that we ourselves had no control over. We had no control over being born male or female, and I don't feel like that we need to be penalized for that. Um, for us being not born the correct sex, and why people won't give females a chance. Do it. Like, come on. It's 2016. I mean, it's not like it's 1916. So, yeah, give females a chance, and all the other studios hop on this as well. All right, you guys, that's my video for Wednesday. Let me know what you guys think about it. This video, a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I enjoy seeing all of you guys, and yes, I'm wearing a Sailor Moon shirt today. I felt like I was in the mood. But yeah, thanks you guys so much. If you guys who have subscribed to my channel, I want to say thank you and welcome to enjoying this crazy family of mine. And yeah, so I have a new video out for you guys on Saturday. It's most likely going to be a review on a manga series that I've finally finished. And yeah, enjoy. All right, thanks you guys. Oh, sorry. This is so weird. All right,